Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Um, all right. So now you've started from the bottom. You know, you've done a lot of different CRA gigs at this company and that company. What are you looking to do next? Like, what is your plan for yourself in the next few years?
Oh, it's a good question. Um, I really think I want to move into a lead position just because I think it'll be more stable for my life. If I do have kids or anything like that. Also, I want to be at my house working on these projects all the time. I have like 1,000 different projects going on right now. So that's not the only factor, but I also think it would be cool to eventually give travel a rest and see what it'd be like to operate from a managerial standpoint. And who knows, maybe it won't be my thing. Maybe I will want to get back on the road. Maybe I'll love it. But I think my goal within the CRO industry or clinical research industry in general is to become a director of some sort. I just think it seems like a cool thing. You get to run your own show, and obviously there's standards you have to follow and preferences through the CRO or the sponsor. But I also think it's kind of neat that you can be, you know, you can paint your own picture and you can maybe run things a little differently. You can manage your teams the way you want to, and everyone kind of has their own way of doing so. So I think that'd be a kind of neat experience. Um, and I know you and I have talked about this too, like maybe one day opening our own offices or something like that. Like,
Site
I know
office.
yeah, our own site, our own clinical research office. And I know I've definitely late nights, I've definitely texted you and our buddy about it,
Yeah.
and it kind of went crazy. And that's just what I mean, that just kind of gives me reassurance that it's in my head, and like I really want to do it. Like when I give you a shout after a night out, 3 in the morning, and tell you about it, it kind of reaffirms that I'm like, man, maybe this is my thing. Like I really
Yeah,
care about it.
it's definitely worth a shot. So that's cool.
Yeah,
That's definitely cool. And there's obviously tons of resource. Well, not a ton, but you know where to go to find some resources on it, just to make the
yeah,
learning curve a lot easier.
yeah. If you make good friends with your sites and stuff, you can ask them. And also, like I said, observing sites is pretty interesting because you can pick up different factors of each site and like what sets them apart and what are good things, what are
Absolutely.
bad things. So you have to kind of do your own mental notes, do your own due diligence of it. So
Right.
yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
yeah,
Okay, so pretty much you've only worked for CROs, right?
correct.
So would you consider working for a sponsor or something just to get that experience too?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the referral, man.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you're open to that, tell me about LinkedIn. You have a LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how is it changing jobs as a CRA? Is that like something easy to do? Because you hear a lot of things on the internet and people talking about recruiters hitting them up all the time, or I'm sure I've even mentioned that before. Recruiters hitting them up all the time, or it's easy to find a job once you get into this industry. Is that true? Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, it is definitely a lot easier, I think, once you hit that like 2 year mark of experience. Maybe when you become like a CRA two. I noticed that when I became a CRA two, I was getting bombarded with emails. And I
Yeah.
think you also mentioned the same. So whether it was LinkedIn messages or just emails, like cold calls, I was like, I don't even know where people are finding my information, to be honest,
Yeah,
because
yeah, I get the cold calls too. I'm like, what?
I limit like what is out there of my personal information. So um, I don't even think I like put out my personal email and phone number on LinkedIn. I only have it so like they can ask me for it, but I don't have it like, broadcasted. So it's been pretty awesome. A lot of them are just kind of like companies you probably wouldn't really care for working for. That's my opinion at least.
Yeah,
But there are some really good hits you get, and I definitely think it gives you like an upper hand for negotiating, and I think you become more comfortable with um, presenting your wants and desires. Like,
absolutely.
um, yeah. So I know like when I first switched companies, I was a little hesitant about the negotiation process. I didn't know like would it be like disrespectful to ask for too much because some of these recruiters and like talent acquisition specialists are very prideful of what they do,
Yeah.
and so if you like counter offer, sometimes it like comes off as a slap to the face. I guess is
Huh.
what I've heard through discussion, and I just think now that I know like what I'm worth and like what I can provide, and these questions they ask are just routine now. Like I know exactly what to say. I know how to explain myself in situations that they ask me about. Like, hey, explain a time where you had to do so and so. You know, it just becomes second nature. So I do think it's become a lot easier. And as far as interviewing, I think it's easy to have an amazing first or second interview and to completely skip the third one. If you do well enough, it becomes a lot more easier to transition. Obviously, it's still like a pain when you have to go through all the onboarding stuff and clean up your loose ends at the other companies and stuff. But I definitely think it's gotten a lot easier to find a job if I wanted to leave.
Yeah. So does that
Yeah.
give you comfort knowing that you are that if something happened, you got fired, or you had to leave, or something else happened, you had to quit your job for a period of time, knowing that you could get hired again? Does that give you some kind of comfort?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a great feeling. Definitely a sense of ease and job security. You know, it is really nice. I definitely love that. You know, if I ever do feel like things are too stagnant or I'm not like appreciated at my company, I could go and get an offer and potentially provide it to my current company and like have them counter it or just review it and stuff. So I think that's nice, a nice leverage point to have. I'm not saying go crazy and like when something goes wrong, like threaten to leave,
Yeah.
but it is pretty cool because there is a really high need for CRAs in this industry right now for whatever reason. I don't know if they're all getting rolled onto like vaccine trials right now, and that's taken away from the other indications, but it's nuts. Like,
It's always been like that.
yeah,
It's always been like that.
really.
Um,
I always wasn't aware then, I guess.
oh, I don't know. I don't know if I still have the text, but I have a friend, and you met him a while ago, I think. Um, he showed me the receipts. They were offering Hawaiian vacations for CRAs when they got hired on back in the day,
What?
in addition to sign-on bonus. And he showed me this post too. They were offering a pair of Beats headphones just to show up and interview.
No
So
kidding.
yeah, so this is not even the heyday. This is not even the golden age.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's going to last before like government regulation is going to shut that down, giving out gifts to interview.
Well, they had to do stuff. That's how bad they wanted CRAs. They had to do stuff. That used to be the
Yeah.
standard, and it used to be. I remember this 15,000 sign on
Wow.
bonus, up to
Yeah.
25,000 sign on bonus. I've seen. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know. Are they still doing sign on bonuses?
Yeah, they are. I don't know if it's that much, but they certainly are doing some sign-on bonuses that are pretty solid.
Hefty. Well, everything's
Yeah.
negotiable. You can negotiate anything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's crazy, man. And they used to post on LinkedIn saying we're offering 15,000 at least for the CRA. Yeah,
Yeah. That's wild.
what a time.
I know. It's great, man. I love it. And I think you know, as the times go on, companies are going to realize like CRAs really are the front line of how they succeed. Like we really are the ones out in the trenches, like doing everything. And I mean, as much as like project management team is important to make things run smoothly and efficiently, without us being out there getting the data verified and document everything, collecting documentation, training, like there is no industry. There's no CRO industry
Exactly. We're
or
doing the dirty
clinical
work.
research. We are. So I think it's good to. I think it's good that we're essentially like getting this opportunity to leverage and negotiate, and it's not like so cut dry anymore. Like I remember when I tried negotiating when I became a CRA too. They're like, oh, no, this is pre-pandemic. I
Yeah.
feel like now it's a different game. So
Yep.